From old to new, some OPPD employees got a nostalgic tour of the new Breakers Apartments, formerly Jones Street Station power plant.
This is totally different. It's quite a change. You couldn't tell this was a power plant for the most part. And the open area with the turbine crane to me was quite striking.
Before we get to that, let's rewind on the history of this incredible transformation. Established in 1900, Jones Street Station was Nebraska's first electrical power plant, spurring eastern Nebraska's economic growth and quality of life.
This is what grew Omaha, was this power plant. Back in the days, people taking the risk and the growth of Omaha never would have happened.
Hundreds of employees worked at the plant and attached offices. With multiple additions, Jones generators peaked at 189 kilowatts in the mid-70s, but by the mid-80s was merely used for peaking and storage. For 20 years, Jones Street Station sat dormant, hidden in plain sight. Since 1990, OPPD had put the station up for sale multiple times without any takers. For developers, there were a few problems.
We looked at this, I know it was close to 20 years ago at one time. It looks great from the outside, you just really had a hard time getting to it. By the time you figure putting floors in at each level, it just adds a lot of cost. We weren't ready to do it that either time.
That changed in 2013 when New Style Development bought the station to turn it into Breakers Apartments.
Everybody really loves these buildings because it was a challenge and a lot of heartache, but it was all worth it. It took about 2 years just to demo all the steel out and get it ready to where you could start construction. About a 110,000 square foot structure that we ended up turning into almost 200,000 square feet to be able to have 217 apartments. People love the history for one thing, but then it's also the steel and the rawness of it, and then you've got the nice brick walls that everybody really goes for nowadays, and then you also have brand new appliances and nice drywall and bathrooms that they're a part of it. Best of both worlds.
While demolition started, changes in OPPD's active on-site generators were needed.
The Jones Street Station is one of our operating facilities, and it was important that the power plant remain available for generation as part of OPPD's generation fleet while all the construction was taking place.
I mean, part of this building was there was no real access to it, just a gravel road down Marcy Street. And so when we were all getting together trying to figure out how we're going to make this work, one of it was, we had to bring Leavenworth Street down into it, which, there's a 1 million gallon fuel tank sitting right in the middle of that.
We had to remove one of our fuel tanks. It was operating, and then put the other one in service so that they would have enough room to open up Leavenworth Street.
To where you had really nice access and people could see how this was going to work.
In all the different departments that you have to go through to get approval went very well, and everything worked out in the end.
Everybody was great to work with. We absolutely had no problems working with OPPD.
Being down here, seeing this renovation and how close it is to downtown, how close it is to the heartland of American Park and the fountain that you can see from this location, wouldn't be too bad a place to live.